Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Beverly Hills Chihuahua 3, Viva La Fiesta. This is back-to-back as our second in a row of dogs with digitally moving mouths, which is the thing I like least in most movies. Yeah, and I know it's a weird specific thing, but it's, yeah. But it's for the sake of me. Yesterday was the last, as far as I know, the Buddies films, which is rife with just flapping mouths, digital mouths on dogs. And today is the last in the trilogy of Beverly Hills Chihuahua films, which on their own are not necessarily horrible, monstrous blights on humanity. No, they're not. It's not that. It's just I tend to not like that. I tend to not like digitally moving mouths on dogs and other animals. And reality shows, which is, this is not, but this is up there. So this is from 2012. It's an hour and 33 minutes long, and yeah, we're back with the Cortez family, and they, well, when I say family, it's the family of Chihuahuas. It's George Lopez as Puppy. And by the way, a lot of the humans get front-loaded on the credits here, even though the dogs and the voices of the dogs are the main characters in this. Cedric Yarborough, you'll probably recognize. Mainly, I know him most from Reno 911. He's been a recurring character on the Goldbergs and just a bunch of other stuff. You've seen him. He plays kind of the main host. It's not a maitre d'. It's the kind of the main guy that runs a hotel, a really fancy hotel in Pasadena. Yeah, that's right. The Beverly Hills Chihuahua story moves to Pasadena, but I guess Pasadena Chihuahua 3 didn't have the same kind of kick to it. What happens to start things off? I'm not going to spoil the entire film for you. Our main humans who fell in love through the dogs in the previous films, they decide they need to move out of their rich relatives' home they've been just making use of for all this time, and they need to move out. But what's convenient is that they get, even in LA, where rent is just astronomically high, even in 2012, it's worse now, or buying a home, nearly impossible to do unless you've just got like loads of cash in the first place. Well, they are in Beverly Hills, of course, so yeah, there's bad parts of Beverly Hills too, poor parts. So, but I will tell you that Slums of Beverly Hills, by the way, is on Hulu, so you can see that on here if you have Hulu attached to your Disney Plus account. That explains that part. In this, though, our two main humans find out that they can get a job at a hotel. He's a landscaper, she's a chef, and they can all live at the hotel and bring their dogs, because that's a thing that happens in this alternate reality. Yes, this is part of the multiverse. I'm pretty sure we could say that, because nowhere in our reality is there a very dog-centric super hotel mansion thing where everything surrounds the dogs. Like everything. There's hotels and resorts that will allow pets. No doubt, no doubt. But not to the degree where they treat them like they are equal to humans. like cartoon characters in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They just, everybody just walking around town. There goes Bugs Bunny. There's Donald Duck. They're just like, they're just normal parts of reality. And this is the way they treat the dogs to a certain degree. They still treat them like dogs. You're bad, or you're a good boy. But at the same time, they treat them as just different shaped humans, 4 legs. I don't think they can hear them talk. It's very clear that dogs can hear each other talk. The other animals can hear each other talk, but nobody can hear the dogs talk. We hear the dogs talk. And also, the dogs are abnormally talented. Our main female dog I've already forgot her name, unfortunately. Where are you? Not Chloe. No, it's I forget the mom Chihuahua. She's super famous, or for whatever reason I can't remember from the previous films. Yes, I've now seen all three of them. Still recovering. So yeah, she kind of opens some doors for a lot of people, for a lot of things, to allow them all to all live there and get the jobs and do all this stuff. The jobs are also not what they expected. But anyway, the dogs get proper schooling as compared to Poppy's homeschooling that he and Mom don't really agree on. There's so many little weird B stories in this. It's just, most of them are constructed to be comedic bits, and most are like recurring just discussions about dog life in where they come from. Like Poppy comes from the poor neighborhood, East LA probably. He comes from the poor neighborhood, and in the previous films he meets the pretty rich Chihuahua, and they fall in love and have many puppies. And then they live the luxurious life. Yeah. So, but what is really weird about this, all the dogs, and nobody finds this weird at all, the dogs are amazing musicians. There's one recurring comedic bit that after we see Chloe, it has to be Chloe. I think it's Chloe. The main mom, Chihuahua, gets up to like a grand piano in the dining hall or the breakfast place, whatever. Everybody's having brunch. She just starts going, playing piano really nice, like a dog would, right? A Chihuahua with all those fingers. Then you're like, oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. That's a dog who did that, and we totally find that not to be weird or like upsetting that dog is that talented. And then she just goes into this humongously complex concerto, and everybody's really blown away. But they're still not like, oh, that's weird. That's just a really talented, as if a child had walked up to it and just really just rocked that keyboard, just the whole. Yeah, just rock the keys. That's how they treat it. That's pretty much how they treat it. Yeah. Then the next scene, and to prove, in a sense, that is not something weird, Poppy is looking to pick a band with another dog, a pug, and they're auditioning bands for his daughter's quinceanera, who. Yeah, she's barely 2, I guess, but that means she's about 15 almost, like just a little bit, 7 years in dog years, she'd be almost 15, or so they decided to book bands, and in a bit that has nothing to do at all, well, except for one thing, we see dogs performing all sorts of different types of music. Eventually, this audition process gets us these guys right here, this group, and I've already forgotten what. Guys, seriously, I'm getting too old for this. My brain is not remembering the words. What this type of music band is called, and I'll think of it at exactly the wrong moment. But they're also are kind of narrators in a sense. At least they're the framing narrators at the beginning and the end of the thing. And it's there are dogs who stand up on their hind legs dressed as mariachi players. They're mariachi players, and they're a mariachi band, and their arms are in these weird situations where they can play the trumpet and the strings. It's on the guitar. Yeah, it's. Don't take it seriously. I know I sound like I'm taking it seriously. This is a film for children. It's not for adults. It doesn't like hook into the MCU or anything. It's unless Deadpool changes something. I have no idea. But it's in this universe, which is not our own. Dogs can do all these things, and it's cute, sometimes obnoxious, but nobody questions it, and that's okay. Just have fun with it. The piano part actually I thought it was kind of funny, at least for the way they did it, because there's somebody, when you're looking over the top of the piano just to see the dog, little head bobbing around, somebody's job is to shake the dog and make her look like she's playing the piano, like her body is reacting to playing so vigorously. And yeah, to me, that was funny. Not violently shaking, no, not in any way that would harm her, but it was just a jiggle, just jiggling the dog, just to make it look like she's playing piano. That was somebody's job. And by the way, most of this film is dogs standing very still in certain scenes so that the digital artists can make their mouths move and hold a conversation. They need to be standing still long enough. That is the job of a number of people, to make one or more dogs in any scene stand completely still long enough to get the scripted dialogue out and digitally create a mouth around them. One of the most horrifying things about this entire thing is when the pit bull smiles, and it's meant to be a joke, and it's meant to also be scary in the sense that he has this terrifying smile. He's a sweetheart. He's just a wonderful boy, but he's got a terrifying smile. I used to know a dog like that. He wasn't a pit bull, but yeah, when he showed you his teeth, he was showing love. He was very happy, but it looked like he could tear your throat out. But he was a good boy. So, yeah. So in this case, the bit is, hey, let's make the dog smile, and it's all full 1,000% digital, and it's awful. Just seriously, just awful. It looks like they just jammed like an alien squid on top of the dog's mouth and said, "Here you go. That's a dog smile." Yeah. So yeah, there's romance, there's action, there's slapstick, there's and by the way, if you want to hear lots and lots of dog band name puns mixed with dog theming, just keep watching the credits at the end. There's two British band English accent dogs just going through every dog band pun you can ever imagine. Cold spay. Yeah, that's what you have to look forward to. Some of them are funny, yeah, but sure, it's yeah. They also have like these mid-credit sequences that wrap up a kind of a storyline that isn't really a storyline. It's just sort of referenced that one of the humans is very lonely and doesn't have anybody in his life, and at the end you see a resolution to that storyline, which again has no bearing whatsoever on the rest of the many stories with the humans who show up every so often, and Poppy dealing with his daughter growing up, his little daughter who wants a quinceanera, being bullied at school by weird German shepherd, I don't know, and then snobby dog with her VIP collar dropping into the pool, then getting rescued by the little tiny, super adorable, by the way, super adorable, like little almost snub-nosed Chihuahua. She saves her life, even though the dog is like 10 times her size. It works. I guess it's cute when she's like paddling her way through the pool to save the dog from drowning, pulling a rope in her mouth, her tiny mouth, as she's going across the pool, saving the dog's life. All the other brothers and sister dogs, they're there. They have scenes, but they're mostly in the background for the most part, unlike the previous film, I believe, because they only showed up in the second film, because the first film is Poppy and his woman getting together. So, yeah. So this is me talking way too much about Beverly Hills Chihuahua 3, Viva La Fiesta. And yes, there's a big party, and people are way too impressed by the dogs, but also way too just okay with all the weirdness. And I think you have to be 5 to really just go, this is cool. And, that's all right. Be 5. be 5. If you're 5, you might get a super big kick out of this. If you're an adult, you might be super annoyed by it. I don't know. It all depends on your tastes. But yeah. It might give you unexpected. If you're 5, you might think your dog should be talking or can play piano. But you know what? You'll grow up eventually, I think. But hopefully not too much. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 3. All the way at the top of the list. All right. It's actually the first A name. The 2 before this start with numbers. But yes, this is the first of the A's, and it's literally the letter A. It is A Real Bug's Life. This is a documentary playing off the Pixar movie, A Bug's Life. But this is obviously talking about real bugs. So that's what we're going to check out. I don't know if it's a series or it's just like a one-off kind of documentary, but we'll find out tomorrow. A Real Bug's Life is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.